The sun was shining again recently when Fidencio Velasquez visited what used to be 90 acres of prime Ventura County strawberry fields. He pointed to a 40-foot storage container that Santa Clara River floodwaters had swept off a neighboring farm and deposited before him. Overturned tractors and fertilizer bins were strewn about like toys, while the deep channels between crop rows were filled with mud. A harvesting machine was damaged beyond repair. Metal pipes, hoses and trash littered the farm's outskirts. "It's a total loss," he said. Velasquez, a supervisor at Santa Clara Farms in Ventura, estimates that the expense of cleaning up and replacing damaged crops, machinery and equipment could run upward of $900. In the meantime, 150 of his employees would be out of work for weeks. Throughout California, farms that have struggled to cope with years of severe drought have now been dealt additional misery by a series of deadly atmospheric rivers that have devastated operations, even while helping to fill dwindling reservoirs. In many cases, the losses are being felt most sharply by the thousands of farm workers who have suddenly found themselves unemployed or working fewer hours in dangerous conditions while also dealing with damage to their own homes and vehicles. The flooding is just the latest in a continuing series of environmental crises that have affected farm workers in recent years, including laboring in extreme heat, inhaling harmful wildfire smoke or losing work due to drought. Last year, approximately 12,000 agricultural jobs were lost when California's irrigated farmland shrank by 752,000 acres, or nearly 10%. We have compounding and cascading disasters from extreme storms, flooding, wildfires, heat waves and drought that are all impacting farm workers, said Michael. This is just a part of the larger history of disproportionate impacts that this population is experiencing. Mendez said farm workers are especially vulnerable to extreme climate events because they are low income, most are immigrants without legal status, which makes them ineligible for unemployment benefits and health insurance, and because state and local governments weren't doing enough to protect the vine. They have not provided enough resources, disaster planning, preparedness, translation services for these communities before a disaster happens, he said.